Hey, welcome back, fellow overthinkers. If you've ever found yourself texting "good morning" to a girl who ghosted you last week, you're not alone. We've all had moments where our logic took a coffee break and our emotions took the wheel. But today, we're flipping the script. We're tapping into the unshakable mindset of Stoicism. Not to become cold or distant, but to become wiser, calmer, and damn near unghostable. This isn't about playing games or memorizing pickup lines. It's about reclaiming your power, rewiring your mindset, and never losing yourself in the process. Stick around. This one might just change how you love. 1. Don't treat your past like a therapy session. Don't treat your past like a therapy session, especially with someone you're just getting to know. There's a fine line between being open and emotionally dumping. When you reveal too much too soon, your childhood wounds, your past heartbreaks, the moments that made you cry in secret, it doesn't build connection, it builds caution. Nietzsche once said that memories, if not mastered, can become chains. In modern dating culture, particularly in the US, vulnerability is often misread as depth, but oversharing can signal instability rather than intimacy. You don't owe anyone the whole script of your life on the first few dates. Instead, think of your story as a movie trailer, enticing, intriguing, and carefully edited. Leave space for curiosity to grow. 2. Stop settling just to avoid silence. Stop settling just to avoid the sound of your own thoughts. Too many people rush into relationships not out of love, but out of fear. Fear of empty rooms, unanswered texts, and long weekends with no plans. Chris, the guy I met in Phoenix, dated someone just because she laughed at the office, as if shared sitcom taste was a foundation for a lifetime. The Stoics taught that self-knowledge is the root of wisdom, and part of knowing yourself is learning to be at peace in your own company. Loneliness with another person is the worst kind, because it whispers, "You chose this." Better to eat pizza in silence than wake up next to someone who doesn't understand your soul. 3. Don't let love hijack your calendar. Seneca would be horrified if he saw us staring at screens, holding our breath for the typing bubble, as if our worth depended on someone else's reply. We've turned anticipation into anxiety and flakiness into a challenge to prove ourselves. But if you're shifting your schedule, losing sleep, or sidelining your goals just to accommodate someone who cancels plans more often than they keep them, it's time for a reality check. Would Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome and Master of Discipline, put his empire on pause for inconsistent affection? Not a chance. He'd remind us that our time is our most precious asset. Give your energy to what's steady, not to what keeps slipping through your fingers. 4. Celebrate your wins without needing applause. You got promoted? That's a milestone worth celebrating, even if her silence echoes louder than applause. It stings when someone you care about doesn't acknowledge your wins, but don't let that dim your light. Your success isn't a performance for someone else's approval. It's the result of your effort, grit, and growth. Whether she replies or not, you still climbed the mountain. So order the steak, raise your glass, do a happy dance in your living room if you want to, or just breathe in the quiet pride of knowing you showed up for yourself. Validation is nice, but self-respect is essential. Even in silence, you matter. And not because someone said so, but because you already are. 5. Mental health isn't a gift to give away. Burning your sanity to keep someone else emotionally warm isn't love. It's slow self-destruction. I knew a guy who stayed with a woman who constantly belittled his career, even though he risked his life as a firefighter. The irony: he saved strangers from flames, but couldn't walk away from the emotional fire in his own home. When you hand someone unrestricted access to your inner world without boundaries, you're not just sharing joy, you're handing them the matches too. Love should feel like a shelter, not a battlefield. Protect your peace the way you protect your bank account or your PIN code. Once they know where your happiness lives, they shouldn't get to visit just to vandalize it. 6. Stop being a people-pleasing puppet. There's a fine line between being a kind, supportive partner and becoming a yes man who slowly disappears behind someone else's preferences. Sure, saying yes to brunch dates, puppy videos, and late-night astrology talks might seem harmless, even cute. But if you start agreeing just to avoid friction, you'll wake up one day unsure of what you actually enjoy. Marcus Aurelius urged us to stay anchored in who we are, not in who others want us to be. You're not meant to be an extra in someone else's highlight reel. You have your own story, your own values, your own rhythm. Being agreeable isn't the same as being authentic. Don't trade your identity for temporary approval. 7. Don't rewire your life to fit into hers. If she wants a guy who hikes every weekend and you think climbing stairs is a personal attack, don't pretend you're the next Bear Grylls. There's no long-term win in faking compatibility. A guy in San Diego once bought brand new hiking gear just to impress a woman. He made it halfway up the trail before collapsing from exhaustion and had to be airlifted out. Meanwhile, she snapped a selfie and finished the hike without him. That's not a rom-com. It's a cautionary tale. Be honest about your pace, your interests, your limits. Pretending to be someone you're not isn't noble. It's exhausting. Eventually, reality catches up, and sometimes it shows up in a helicopter. 8. Don't ghost your real support system. That friend who showed up with pizza and duct tape when you moved in 2021, the mum who texts, praying for you every Sunday without fail, they're the real ones. But too often, people disappear into the fog of infatuation, trading years of loyalty for a fleeting spark. Don't be that guy who vanishes the moment a pretty face gives you attention. Plato said people are like soil. Some nourish you, some bury you. The ones who've stood by you in silence, in chaos, in ordinary moments, they're the ones who matter. Keep them close. A relationship that costs you your roots is too expensive. Love should expand your world, not erase the people who helped build it. 9. Love isn't worship. Don't become her disciple. You're not meant to orbit someone else's life like a moon chasing crumbs of attention. Love isn't about shrinking yourself just to stay in someone's gravitational pull. I met a guy in NYC who tattooed his girlfriend's name, Samantha, after just 3 weeks. Fast forward 6 months, she was gone, and now he's got a koi fish tattoo covering her name, even though he's allergic to fish. That's what happens when you lose yourself trying to impress someone who barely knows your middle name. Marcus Aurelius warned us not to surrender our essence to others. You're not here to revolve around anyone. You're the sun. You bring the heat, the light, the fire. Whether they show up or not, you shine. Conclusion. Stay stoic. Stay sane. Don't let dating turn into a slow erosion of your self-worth. These 9 reminders aren't just Stoic advice, They're your emotional insurance policy in a world that often rewards chaos over clarity. We've all been there, chasing silence, bending our boundaries, mistaking chemistry for character. But growth starts when we stop making excuses for bad behavior and start protecting our peace like it's sacred. If any of this hit home, like, share, or subscribe, not just for the algorithm, but for the version of you that's done settling. Stay stoic, stay sharp, and most importantly, stay far away from anyone who makes you question your value. Thank you for watching till the end. See you in the next video.